Well, it's getting cold finally, so I'm told that spring will be coming soon. At any rate, I was listening to a Sunday school lesson by the COGR, and a gentleman by the name of Gary was speaking, and he had a couple of things that I thought were worth critiquing. He seemed to speak as if their group alone was where God is in the process of really working, and the rest of the world is kind of in darkness. But if they'll listen, they can get in shape and tag along if they need to. The COGR, as you know, believes that they were the ones that Revelation was written for, and they themselves are in the book of Revelation. Now, they refer to that as humility, but most of us would probably see it as self-exaltation. As he was proceeding through, Gary had a number of things to say about eternity. One of the things that he said was that they were in eternity present. And no, you're not. You were created prior to the time that you were created. You were not in eternity, so you can't claim all of eternity for yourself. Also, Gary tells us that he was born out of God. No. As a matter of fact, you were created. You are not part of God. You were never part of God. That's just not the way it works. And then we need to look at the fact that we are not eternal. Jesus is eternal. God is the only immortal being that is. We are contingent beings. God is a necessary being. So when we talk about eternity and we talk about God, we need to keep that in mind. We are contingent beings. Only God, only Jesus is a necessary being. There was a bunch of stuff said about where God is focusing. And the Bible was used as an example of that. And a number of Old Testament saints were selected. And we're told that they were selected because God had a prophecy. And that is true. Those Old Testament saints were selected. Even though God was working throughout the world, he chose to focus on those Old Testament saints because they were in the lineage of Jesus. And the Bible is a story about God's salvation for us. When Jesus came, died on the cross, his church was born, and the focus is now his church. Not a specific small section of the church, not a few individuals, but the church as a whole, the universal body of believers. The word endures, the gospel stands, Christ reigns.